Hi, this is Anaya. Welcome to the channel. Let us first thank the Most High for this time, His grace, kindness, and mercy. Today's message is about a few events and possible connections to some things that are coming this April. We'll also look at a few other topics. The 12P Pons Brooks is a comet that will be visible this April 2024. It was first discovered in 1812 and then independently rediscovered later. And this is a picture from the SETI Institute from July of this year. The 12P Pons Brook is a periodic comet with an orbital period every 71 years. The next perihelion passage will be on April 21st of 2024, a day before Passover, which is right after the eclipse and new moon on April 8th. And the eclipse will make the Aleph and the Tau symbols, and they represent the first and last letters of the Hebrew alphabet. And they will make an X in Texas and in Illinois, and all together with the other eclipses will be the Aleph sign. But only God alone is the first and the last, as it is written here in Isaiah 48:12, and also telling the end from the beginning before the things come to pass, as it is written here in Isaiah 46:10. So if he knows the end from the beginning, then he knows everyone who's written in the book of life. It isn't he that changes, it's us. And traditionally, as comets get closer to the sun, they slowly get brighter. And these are just a few pictures of the comet Neowise. It kind of looks like the 12P Pons Brooks comet coming in April. And the one on the right is from July of 2020. The 12P Pons Brook orbit is determined by observations dating back to 1953. And some people have been calling this the Devil Comet. So, a few significant things that happened in 1953 was the discovery of the double helix, the twisted ladder structure of DNA. The Korean War ends. A 2 million volt anti-cancer X-ray machine is developed. The first heart-lung machine is used during an operation. The Schumann resonances were discovered, which are natural electromagnetic frequencies between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. And that was a year prior to that in 1952. But movies that were out in 1953 are significant because they're relevant to today's events and news. And the two on the left look like they're going through a war with the planes at the bottom and the ships at the top. And the House of Wax reminds me of clones. And the beast from 20,000 fathoms makes me think of the beast from the abyss coming to bring his nations their seeds home. Or sons of men. We're the sons of God and daughters of God, so this isn't us that they're returning for. I thought of these verses because of the 71 years for the orbit of the comet coming around the eclipse time. And I'll go ahead and read this Jeremiah 29:10 through 14 because it's a little longer. For thus says the Most High, when 70 years are completed for Babylon, I will visit you and I will fulfill to you my promise and bring you back to this place. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Most High, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will hear you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Most High, and I will restore your fortunes and gather you from all the nations and all the places where I have driven you, declares the Most High, and I will bring you back to the place from which I sent you into exile. And I'll read this. After a long time you will be summoned in the latter years. You will enter a land that has recovered from war, whose people were gathered from many nations to the mountains of Israel, which had long been desolate. They had been brought out from the nations, and all now dwell securely. So, some people think that parts of America are the real Holy Land, and I believe that some of us are the real Israelites. who've had our identity taken by the synagogue of Satan, mentioned here in Revelation 2:9 at the bottom. And this Britain Septuagint translation of Jeremiah speaks about being gathered at the Passover. Behold, I bring them from the north, and will gather them from the end of the earth to the feast of the Passover. And the people shall beget a great multitude, and they shall return hither. So Isaiah 52:6. Therefore my people will know my name. Therefore in that day they will know that it is I who foretold it. Yes, it is I. Sing unto God, sing praises to his name. Extol him who rides on the clouds by his name Yah, and rejoice before him. So Psalm 68:4 is the only place in the Bible where you'll find God's name as Yah. God said to Moses, I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. So when you click on this I am, it'll take you to the Bible Hub Strong's Concordance, which is the Bible dictionary, and it gives you the definitions of all the words in the Bible, and it'll also tell you exactly where they are located in the Bible. But the definition for I am is Haya, and it means to fall out or come to pass, become, or be, which does correlate to the existing and an eternal one, because to be means to exist. So when I see this Haya for I am here, the H could be silent and Haya could be pronounced as Yah. I think of how we as Hebrews write from right to left also, and how he's the beginning and the end. So I also found some other information about the name Yah while studying ancient Mesopotamia, the land our forefather Abraham was from. Abraham was a native of Ur in Mesopotamia. And Enki, or Yah, as he's also known, was one of the major deities in ancient Mesopotamia. Yah, the god of wisdom, warned a man named Udapishtim in a dream to build a great boat in which his family and several of every living creature might take refuge. And this he did. When the gods unleashed the dreadful floods, they survived the disaster. The details in Udapishtim's story are a great deal like the details in the account of the flood in Genesis, yet this Mesopotamian story is at least 2,000 years older than the biblical account of Noah. So, we don't throw our holy book away just because we find older information or because we find contradictions. We should know that one of the ways are right, especially if they align, and there's still truth in it. But I don't even know if Yah and Yahweh are even the same one being. It's written that Yahweh told Moses to kill in Numbers 25:4. And also it is said that he was a man of war. So it's not hard to believe that they might have added things, or there may be two gods in the Bible, or more than one God, because it tells us not to worship other gods. So if we're told not to worship other gods, that must mean that they exist. We're just not to give praises and honor and glory to them. So we know that it's written that vengeance is the Most High's, so he will take his vengeance, and it is not upon us to kill. That's a commandment. And I question a lot of the New Testament, the Concordance, and even some of the Old Testament. Some of the things were added, I believe, and the New Testament was added as their script to act out. Those things were added in the New Testament to make us sin and break the commandments, and to test our mental. But the Most High knew that his true seeds would eventually wake up and realize that we should just follow his laws and commandments in the Old Testament. So there are still some truths in the New Testament as far as when it talks about judgments and commandments and redemption from God alone. So these are a few photos from the World of Science channel of different halos around the sun. It looks like it could be a planet behind the sun. maybe Nibiru or Planet X, or the Gentile destroyer. I also noticed the cloud looks like a dove or a falcon or even an eagle in the palms of someone's cupped hands giving light. You can see the thumb on top with the fingers at the bottom cupping the hand. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without an inhabitant. The young lions roared upon him, and yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant. Do not tremble or fear. Have I not told you and declared it long ago? You are my witnesses. Is there any God but me? There is no other rock. I know not one. So he is our God. The orbital period is 71 years. So I thought of 71 days that are in between these two dates, the Chinese New Year and Year of the Dragon and the Passover. That's ironic. And someone brought this up about our date today, 12/31/23. It's 123, 123. So the counting to three reminds me of when we're given warnings as children to do something in that time or be ready for something. But twice, could this be a warning sign that marks the beginning of something, or count down or count up to something? And remember, we write from right to left. April 8th is the day of the eclipse and marks the beginning of our new year. And this 2024 times 2017 dates of the two eclipses is ironic because they both equal to the actual date of the eclipse, April 8th, 2024. It's kind of like a repeat with the two to emphasize it. And I do believe that the days have been shortened for the elect's sake because time is certainly flying. And I also believe that it could possibly be 2012. I made a video about it titled, Could 2024 Really Be 2012? Because of the 11-day difference between the Gregorian calendar and the Hebrew calendar, times our 400 years of bondage. So there's 11 extra days per year for 400 years. That gives us that 4,400 days. And I just decided to count back from April 8th, 4,400 days, and that takes us to March 22nd of 2012. And both of those numbers are significant. 322 for the skull and bones, and 2012 for the Mayan calendar. 322 is the new moon and new year for 2012, or was the new year. And I recently heard that in Ethiopia they're 7 years behind us, so it's the year 2016 there right now. So it's not that hard to believe that we could possibly be in a different year as well. But that 322 skull and bones number, it was significant because I seen a former president and someone else in the government that went to this university, and they were posing with a picture with them and Geronimo's skulls and bones. And that just made me think that they might know something about this date, and this is why this date and number is so significant. And also they knew about him being one of the true seeds, a Native American Hebrew brethren. And this is from that channel, The World of Signs. And this looks like two sun halos or planets, who knows. And this is from another person's channel. I just can't remember. It was one of the React channels. And this is two suns, and on the right it looks like three suns. So I believe that we will have some transformative stages coming because of the weather and the signs in the sky, and the synchronicities and all the evil and genocide and other things culminating. That will be all for now. I thank you for listening and watching. I'll be putting more out messages and other older videos related to this soon. We thank you, Most High, for your grace, kindness, and mercy. Please forgive us for our sins, and please open our eyes and ears to your path and good ways. And please heal, guide, and protect us and all who love and glorify you and our loved ones. In your most holy, precious name we plead. All glory and honor to you alone, Holy Redeemer, Yah. Thank you.